All right, Shay Baker here. Today we're going to talk about a Ned rig, and it's one of the simplest rigs to fish with. It gets a lot of bites. It's essentially just a flat-headed jig head, so it's got a flat surface on the top of it, and that's intended to help the bait stand up straight. If you take just a small jig head, these are typically really light, less than a 1/4 ounce, really light, all the way down to like a 1/16 ounce or even lighter. So you got two basic styles of jig heads when you're using these. You got one with a weed guard and one without a weed guard. So both have a pretty exposed hook, but the one with a weed guard has a little bit more protection for fishing around brush, vegetation, some of the little bit thicker cover, and then really in open water around rock even, and a little bit of wood. Even with the exposed hook, a Ned rig is surprisingly weedless. It's really snag resistant. And it's more about when you're fishing this, you want to keep your rod a little high, and then what that'll do is it'll keep your bait standing up, and not only standing up, but the jig head will slide over stuff better than if you imagine dragging it along sideways, kind of really just threatening to pull it into a crevice or a crack, wedge it in the rocks. So if you keep your rod tip kind of high, the bait will stand up and you'll be able to slide the head over obstructions. Best way to do it is kind of gauge how far you think the hook needs to go before it comes out of the bait. And so then once you got that in your mind, just go through the center of the bait, try to do it in one pretty good motion. And then when you pop out of the bait, you want your bait to lay pretty straight like that. So that's exactly how you want your Ned rig to look. Now when it's in the water, what it'll do is it'll stand up straight like this, and your little tail will be kicking around, and it has a lot of action for no more than it is. One of the simplest and probably the original Ned rig bait was just a simple half of a stick bait, like cut a Cinco in half and rig it up. And like this is a Z-Man TRD. It's a really good bait for a Ned rig because it lasts forever. It's really stretchy, and so the fish can't tear it up. You don't have to re-rig it a lot. It's kind of a pain to get it rigged the first time because of this Elastec material. You got to do it for sure in one smooth motion, or else it'll kind of be pinched and look a little odd. So you want it to be really nice and straight, and then it's just, you don't really add a lot of action. You can shake your rod a little bit, but this little bait wiggles around on the bottom, washes around in the water. Just a super effective way to get bit if you're looking to get a bite.